Welcome to the Athena Wellness Podcast, the show that invites you to take a seat around the community fire and listen to stories that inspire. I'm your host, Kathy Robinson, author, coach, and founder of Athena Wellness, a company that's dedicated to supporting you on your journey to live more wholeheartedly. Hello and welcome. Thanks so much for joining me for this shortened Wellness Wednesday episode, a little midweek boost to help keep your warrior vibe high. Today I'm joined once again by professional traveler Heather Markel. During this discussion, Heather offers advice to those who dream of living a nomadic lifestyle and offers some insight into how she travels light. And now on to the show. I hope you find this conversation helpful. Once again, I'm joined by professional traveler Heather Markel. Welcome back, Heather.
Thank you.
Heather, I'm envisioning the listener who may be on her way to or from her corporate job, and maybe she's got a similar dream or has a feeling or a longing that there's something more. What steps might she take to begin to get some clarity? What advice would you have for her?
The first thing to me is really acknowledge that feeling. I spent a lot of time in my head explaining to that feeling why you can't exist, why you should go away, because this feeling isn't going to help us make money, pay rent, or retire. And so I guess first realize that there's more to life than retirement. And put the emphasis on, living well and allow your heart to speak and to sing. And then if you are someone that wants to explore this, full-time traveling, know that there's so many paths to doing it. And so what's lovely now, what people can do now that I couldn't do when I quit, is you can work remotely. So if you are someone that wants something without so much risk, you can explore, go talk to your team and your manager about what opportunities are there for you to work remotely. And you might investigate, spending 6 or 12 months doing your job in different places of the world. And your, of course, challenge will be the work-life balance. Well, I've come to Peru to do my job for a month. How exciting. How do I not spend all my time in Peru indoors working, right? But it is a path that is possible for you. Another thing you can explore is a sabbatical. Like maybe you actually don't want to work while you're traveling, but you also don't want to give up your lifeline of work. So see if you can, even if you could take 3 or 6 months off, isn't that amazing? So explore whether that's a possibility. And if you decide, nope, I want to go all in if I'm going to do this, I would suggest experiment with vacation. And so depending on how much vacation time you have in a year, take as much of it as you can at once. So if you can do a month altogether, do it. And challenge yourself within that vacation to do it differently. You might book your ticket there and your ticket back, and then book a couple of nights accommodation, and then don't book anything else. And see how you feel. Are you comfortable? You probably won't be. I can tell you that it is uncomfortable to move out of like vacation plan travel into just go with the flow, but try it and see if you can get a feel for like, what's it like for you to have your suitcase and change location and not have your own bed and, have all of it's like you have all of the responsibility on you to plan every day and create the experience you want, which is both scary as heck and also really empowering. So, take the time to feel into that as you go. And, how do you feel as you recognize that, you have this amazing power and also this amazing responsibility.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious how your routines have changed since 2017, meaning I'm guessing that as you can trust into this synchronicity and these coincidences, that you're probably carrying much less with you as you go on these trips. So can you talk a little bit about what you were taking early on and how that has shifted over time?
Yeah. And I got to tell you, honestly, I still, as it doesn't matter that I've gotten better at packing, I still feel like I have too much. I mean, just my computer and my camera is already more than I want to carry. But yeah, I think at the beginning, I did a lot of, I can't remember, I think my first trip was kind of like a bigger bag and throwing as much in it as I could. And in Costa Rica, that couple I mentioned that I had wanted to meet up with, they taught me, man, they had next to nothing with them. They were traveling for 6 weeks. They had this wonderful folding technique. And I had met this woman about a year before on my way to Iceland who told me about the military rolling technique. So I learned all these like ways to pack better. And then as I went, man, I have a friend to this day in Costa Rica because I had a power bank with me. I'm like, obviously, I got to have like the best technology with me. It was like a brick. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And I had a technology incident of some sort while I was there. And he drove me all the way to like, it was like a half-hour drive away to get to whatever this place was where I needed to get the cord or whatever. Anyway, I gave him my power bank. I didn't charge him. I'm like, please take it. Like, and he's like, can I pay you? I'm like, no. You're saving me from carrying this. So we're like still friends to this day. And like, I actually just talked to him last week, So what I've learned is to attempt to think really carefully about taking the stuff, making piles before I start of what I know I need. And then the maybe and nice to haves in a separate pile, and attempt to leave out as close to all of the maybe nice to haves and take only what I need. Also, you know what? I will wear the same shirt 2 days in a row unless it's like a really hot place. I don't travel elegantly. I travel as lightweight as I can. I now, inspired by these friends that I made in Costa Rica, I travel with a carry-on suitcase and a backpack that's even smaller than that. So that's all I have, and I want to avoid like airline baggage fees. And so it's really about condensing and questioning everything I put in the bag. I've gotten used to 3 pairs of shoes. 1 hiking shoes go on my feet, and then like 2 other pairs of shoes in the bag. And sometimes I think maybe only 1 other pair of shoes would be enough. And it's bring a little, because also when I arrive at a place, oftentimes you find like, oh, everybody here, like, oh, the climate's different than I expected. I'm going to need to pick up this thing. In New Zealand, it was a sweater. In, Thailand, it was fun pants, whatever. So leaving the space to know that you want to pick up a couple of things that make you feel like you're more at ease within the culture. So, and then on the road, being willing to just throw out stuff as you go and you realize you made a mistake, donate it to a secondhand shop or just leave it for people. If you're in a hostel, they love that. Like, just leave it and somebody else will take it.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So your advice then would be pack light, start as small as you need to, but by all means consider and give it a try.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I will link up all of your information in the show notes, Heather. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I know there are many ways you can spend your time. Thank you for choosing to spend it with me. Until our paths cross again, be kind to yourself and show your warrior spirit some love. If you know anyone who could benefit from today's episode, please pass it on. And many thanks for supporting the show by subscribing and leaving a review. It means a lot, and it helps others find their way to our circle. If you'd like to access the show notes, have a question you'd like addressed on a future episode, or would like a transcript of this episode, visit www.athenawellness.com/podcast. Until next time, be well.